Hi everyone, June here with Red Daisy Crafts. It's so great to be here. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, all the moms. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I hope that you're off with your family and not here, but I am excited for anybody who is here that wants to just hang out with me for a little bit. So we are in April Lakeside Retreat for the Paper Pumpkin alternates this week. I am going to have recordings that will drop the next 2 Sundays for you, and I'll be away. And then I will be gone and we'll come back and we'll do the unboxing for May and get right into some alternates after that. So for those of you that are new to Paper Pumpkin, with Paper Pumpkin you get supplies in your box that allow you to do all the things you need to create 3 beautiful cards. Sometimes there are other projects besides cards, but that is usually the case. Everything you need is in the box. If you have any questions about Paper Pumpkin, I have some information for you in the description, and there's a link to my website if you have any questions about that. But today we are going to get into making some alternates. And last week we made a really cute, 2 really cute fun fold cards. So I made that one, and then we made this one. And they were beautiful. And hi, Wanda. Thanks for joining. Glad to have you with us. So I am going to go ahead and put us down to the table, and we are going to get going. Let's see here. I think that's it. All right. So we're going to start out with this fun little card I have here. This is the design we're going to be making. And we're using several of the pieces from the kit, and then also some other elements. So I'm bringing in a 2-inch circle punch, and the pecan pie cardstock is what I punched those circles out of. We have a card base that is Misty Moonlight. It's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches. This piece comes from the card base in the kit, and it measures 4 inches by 4 inches. Then I have this piece, which also comes from the card base in the kit, and it is 4 inches by 1/2 inch. Okay. Then we have several die cuts from the kit. So we have the sentiment die cut in the kind of pecan pie color. We have 2 of the oars, the little fish emblem or sign, and we have the little life preserver jacket, and we have another sentiment label that we'll be using. Now I do need to cut a piece of basic white for my inside, so I'm going to grab my cutter, and I am going to cut this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to pick up my scoring blade that fell off my trimmer while I was doing this. So let me figure out where that went, because we might need it. Here it is. These little things, they can fall off. they just kind of pop back on there and we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and trim this one while I have this open to 5 1/4, so we have 2 insides in case I need one for the next card. So we'll have that ready to go, and I'll move this out of the way. All right, so I'm going to grab my foam mat for us to do some stamping. All right, I'm gonna get a drink. How is everybody today? Are you having a wonderful weekend? Wanda, I wish you a happy Mother's Day. And anybody else out there joining? All right, I have a little bit of scrap paper here. Oh, I am dropping things all over the place today. My goodness. Huh. Dropping. Okay, so what we have here is we are going to do a bit of stamping on here. And let's see. So I want this piece here. So we're going to put thanks on here, but we're going to also do the little rope. Okay. I did this one in a Night of Navy ink. It's a bit chilly, Cheryl. Okay. But I bet you're not. Are you going to get snow? I mean, my goodness. I guess you could. But I think I'm going to use the Peaceful Pine just because I think then you can see what the difference is, and I think both would be fine. So I gotta have my glasses so much more often nowadays. All right, so right there, I think it's straight. And then we're gonna do the thanks. I'm gonna clean this first just to make sure. Because when I was stamping earlier and to record the videos and wasn't sure which color I used last. All right. So on here we have the little thanks with the rope stamp. Okay, so we're going to have that. Then we're going to be stamping "You're a Lifesaver" on here. And might as well be cleaning these as I go. That's what we should do. Clean as we go, and then we don't have issues later. Find sometimes I can't get the ink out from some of these little holes. Gotta do a little work. All right. So I am just going to ink this up. Now, if you missed the unboxing and last week's video, you can go to my YouTube channel or you can go to Facebook. It won't be there forever on Facebook though, only for a couple more weeks. There's that. And get a peek at last week's video where I made a couple of fun folds, and those were a lot of fun. All right, so we are going to stamp these little waterside plants. And I'm going to stamp one here. I'm almost off the page. Now I'm going to stamp another one right next to it. So I get like a little bit of a hint behind there. And then we'll come in again with another one next to it. And then we'll do the same thing there. And that'll give us a little bit of a fuller look. And then we're going to do something similar on the other side. This is a very juicy ink pad. I notice that's why I'm getting so much ink in the deep crevices of my stamp. And there we go. So that's what we end up with, is having that little bit of a hint behind there. I think it just adds to the depth of the plants, gives you a little bit more realistic view. And so I think that's all the stamping for now. So I'm going to move these things out of the way, and we're going to start to put our card together. Oh wait, I apologize. There is some more stamping. I forgot the inside. All right, so we're going to use the rope and the plant, and I think for the inside, I'm going to do the rope and the pecan pie, just so it ties a little bit to bring some of the coloring from the card front into the inside. So let's see here if I can do it straight one more time. There's that. Not perfect, but pretty good. Pretty good. Good enough. Let's put it that way. All right, so now I am going to bring the plant back again, and the peaceful pine. And let's just do a couple of these down here. Oh, that's funny. Did you see that? Okay, I'm going to set it right up here like that. And I'm just going to do one right next to it. I think that's all we'll do for the inside. All right. Okie doke. So that's what we have now. All right, we're going to clean these up, and then we will get this card put together. And I think I forgot to do that one. Okay. All right, so I found my glue holder, so we should be back in business here with normal behavior. That other glue holder, I don't like it as much. Probably because I'm just not used to it like this one. All right, so I do like to just kind of smooth my glue out there. Okay, so now we are going to be adding this to the top of our card like that. All right, and Here we go. Just giving it a little bit of a frame around the edge, even about 1/8 of an inch. So a little bit of glue there. Get my little glue eraser here. Take that off. There we go. All right, so then we are going to take this little 1/2 inch strip and we're going to butt it right up against the bottom of here. I'm not going to worry if there's a little bit of a gap because we're going to put some linen thread on there, and that will cover it up. All right, so there we go. Let's see how that is right there. Okay, so me and my linen thread, we had a little bit of a battle earlier, and it went flying. So I have a little bit of work here to do. So I like to just take my finger, put it between my finger and my thumbnail and kind of get all those kinks out. Makes it a lot easier. It does look like I'm putting this a little bit off center. All right, then I'm going to go around twice. And then we're going to cut off the end, tie our bow. So that's going to go right here, like that. Okay, that's how we have that. Perfect. Now maybe I can roll this back up before I have to play with it again. So we are, it's a little, I guess, muggy here today. Not too bad, but a little bit muggy. All right, so I am going to just scoot that tiny bit up there because we are going to put the sentiment below here, and it's going to go right here. Okay, and then we're going to add some of those fun pebbles, some of those fun little pebbles we got in our kit. I'm going to move my tails out of the way. There we go. That down like that. And then here they are. I'm going to get one on here like that. Put one down here. I'm going to turn this one around like that. Then I'm going to add one on this edge and one right here. So we added our little pebbles down there at the bottom. I don't have many of those left. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to crunch all these up, and we're going to make them kind of rough looking and a little bit beat up. And if I was smart, I would have brought myself a little spray, water spray, because that would help to crinkle these easier. But then I might have to let them dry, but we're not going to have to worry about that. All right, so I got my 3 circles all crinkled up, and we are going to start to put the rest of our card together. So 2 of these are going to get glued down, and this one in the lower in the front is going to get added with dimensionals. Okay, so I am going to just put a little bit of glue on the back of here. All right, And I'm going to start by adding that one right there. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one. I'm going to add a little bit of glue back here. And we're just going to add it right there. I love giving things texture whenever I am making something here. And this one we're going to add with dimensionals. So where are my, here they are. So I'm just going to add 3 on the back of here. That should be good. For now, we're going to leave it like that. Now you could do some other things here, which I thought about after, is you could go around the edge, put a little color on it, even give it more dimension from that perspective. So we are going to need a couple of dimensionals on the back of our sentiment die cut there. And I am going to need dimensionals on the back of one of our paddles, only on this end. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to need dimensionals on the back of our little sign. Okay, there we go. And then this is going to get added with glue. So let's go ahead and put the circle down. Okay, so it's going to go right there. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and add our life preserver. Boy, everything wants to stick. And need to do some cleaning on that. So that's going to go right there. Like that. And then You Are a Lifesaver is going to go right at the bottom of here. And we're going to add just a little bit of glue on this end to tack it down. Okay. So it's just going to go like that. Give it a little hold for a minute there. Doesn't take a minute, but that glue will start to dry up pretty quick. All right, so here's our little fish sign going on right here. And then we are going to add our first oar with glue on all the whole thing. And it's going to go across like that. Okay. And then this one, we're going to add just a little bit of glue on the other end. So it gets tacked down a little bit right there. But this one we're going to add just like so. Okay. So you have a few little dimensions. So, oh, you're very cold. Showers at times. Oh, not seasonal. Yeah. Yep. All right. So that is our alternate number 1 today. And you have a nice inside to put a sentiment. See if I can get that to hold down. There we go. Fun, right? I love this. I think it could be, easily you could put Dad here and say Happy Father's Day. I just think, it's a really fun masculine kind of setup. So awesome. Thank you very much, Cheryl. That's very kind of you. Thirsty. Okay, so we are now going to move on to our second card, and I only planned 2 for today, so but this one's we're gonna play around a bit. I got some other fun stuff here. So I wanted to kind of play around with the coordinating items. So we hadn't played with this chair. And I played around with it with that golden glow, which was one of the new ink colors. Okay. And so I stamped it right here on the basic white, but then I used my blender pen and some of the ink and kind of like colored it in. I'm not really sure. Like, I think I love that better. But I thought we would kind of play around with it because the golden glow I didn't feel like it really matched well. So I did it again, kind of with the pecan pie. And this one, I think, came out even better. So you can see how this chair could just be done in so many different ways. This is such a fun little element out of that cord pack. Okay, so I brought this out to play around with it. Now, this one I did with the blender pen. So this blender pen, right? And I just used some ink. So we have the new lovely stamp pads, right? You just press in to the stamp pad and then you can flip it over and you have some ink right here, right? And so I just took my blender pen, get some ink on there, and I just began to just color this in, right? And then you can stretch it because you don't need to go back into the ink constantly. All right. And you can just kind of stretch that ink out. All right. And so this is one way for you to color the chair. Okay. And I will show you in the upcoming videos. We'll do it again in another way. But this is just one way for you to do it. Now, this other pecan pie, so I'm gonna just stop there because we're not gonna be using that for the card. But this other one with the pecan pie, I'm gonna move some of this out of the way because I have my messy paper underneath. So what I was doing with this one is I got my pecan pie ink pad out here, but I also have my little blending brush, right? And so I just would come on and give it some color, you know, around here. So this is another way you can color your chair. All right. Well, we're losing things. So this is just another way for you to color in your chair. And I think that this might be a little bit faster. I also like that you can do a little bit highlighting, so you have more light in the center of the chair and whatnot. So that's how we end up with this one. Instead of me getting my big machine out and us going through that whole thing, I went ahead and already cut one out, but I still wanted to show you. Yeah, I do too. The pecan pie is so much better for this. The golden glow, I thought it was going to be nice, but it was like too yellow. So that is that piece. So we're going to hide our messy paper again. And go back to our little clean sheet. All right, so like I said, I knew I was probably going to need my score tool. So let's go ahead. I have a basic beige piece here, 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score it at 4 1/4. Okay. And I am pretty sure I don't need my cutter for anything else, but let's find out as we go. So get that out of the way. There we go. All right, so we're going to have this on the inside here, and this piece is going to go across here. We're going to have a little bit of an edge at the top and the bottom, and then we have this beautiful scene, which was one of the die cuts in the kit, and so it's just going to go on here in the center here, like so. And then we're going to have our little chair coming here. Very fun. And I need to remember all of my pieces because, yeah. Okay. So I also have, where is it? Where's my little book? I'm supposed to have a book piece. Did it get caught or drop? I probably dropped it. What a mess. I might need to make another one. Unless I can find it. Let me just look through all this. Make sure I haven't missed it. Nope. I am not seeing it. And just make sure I didn't lose it over here. Nope. All right. Well, we'll do another one. I know once we do it, we'll find it, right? That's how it always goes. All right. So I have this. Now I need my stamp. And we're going to need the die. So let me get my stamp out. Although I think I might have the stamp already. I do. Okay, so we got the stamp. Now I just need my die. And that is here. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to need my die cutter. Okie doke. So we are going to set these aside, and I'm going to move this out of the way for now. And I'm going to clean this off real quick. All right, so let's see. Get my little foam mat here. Move that out of the way. We are going to do our book in the Peaceful Pine. This little book is the cutest darn thing ever. And I mean, I could not resist it at all. I think I've already cut out like 6 of them. So fun. Okay, so here we go. Try to prevent all this madness coming in, but it did not work today. All right, so we have our little mini die cut, which is perfect for this. And then I do love to use the Post-it note tape to hold my die in place because I can never get it to cut right. And then we're going to roll it through and back, and voila, we are going to have the cutest book piece ever. Cutest thing. Oh my gosh, love it. All right, so let me put my die back before I lose it, because that is sure to happen. I know all of you with me know that that's how it happens when we don't put them away right away. All right, so let me just tuck that back in there and we can be back in business. All right, so we have our scene. It's going here. Let's get these golden glow out of the way. And let's see what we got. All right, so our little chair is going to go here, like so. And then this little book, it actually fits on this chair arm like so perfectly. Can you see how it just fits right on that chair arm? Oh my God, it's the cutest thing ever. And then we're going to put right up here, we're going to use stamps from the coordinating stamp set. And this is primarily because of June, because June doesn't, well, we don't have dads anymore. And I just don't have a lot of need for the sentiments in the Paper Pumpkin kit. They're great, but I just don't have enough use for them. But I do love this sentiment, relax, and here's to a new chapter, and have a great birthday. And so I want to use the here's to a new chapter on here. So we're going to get that out right there. And put this back. Get a block. So we are going to do that. And then, I like to do the little rubbing on here first. I seem to have really good luck with using the stamps with the ink without any problem after that. Okay. And just making sure, oh good, it fits perfectly there. So let's get our Peaceful Pine. And that is going to go right there. Perfect. Here's to a new chapter. This could be a retirement. This could be a birthday. On the inside, I am thinking we'll do a birthday. So I have the birthday sentiment from that same stamp set that says, have a great birthday, which I think is great. So let's put that on here. So we're just going to add it right here in the center, like that. Perfect. Now this piece is going to go across here, but it does need a trim. So I'm gonna grab the trimmer real quick and just cut that down to 5 1/4. And then we need, I am going to use a stamp from the kit, the Paper Pumpkin kit, Older, Wiser, Better, on here, on this little piece. And that is going to be going on the inside of our card, right here. So lots of sentiment going into this card. I really do love how this card is going together. And it's going to be great. All right. So let's start out by putting together the inside of the card. And so we're going to put this piece down. A lot of glue. I didn't mean to get this much glue. Try not to have it squirting out everywhere. There we go. All right, then we're going to add this right at the bottom of here, like this. Okay. Right at the bottom. Like that. Oh, cannot see anymore. I lost my image. Reminding me of my plan. All right. So this little guy's going to go right down here. And this little guy's going to go with it. We're going to just tuck them together, kind of like that. Okay. That's how that's going to go. So I am just going to put some glue at the bottom of this edge so that I can tuck my bike in where I want it. All right. So it's going to go right just in the middle, half on, half off. All right. And then I'm going to get some glue onto here. And it's going to go like that. So there we have the inside of our card, and that's so cute. It'd be great for a graduate as well, Wanda. Yes. And a new job. Yeah. So I really love how this inside came out. All right, now let's do the outside. We're going to love it as much. All right, so this just goes edge to edge, but we have about 1/4. Well, not quite. I'm going to guess, would it be, I guess it's probably about 1/4 of an inch at the top and the bottom. All right, then I'm just going to make sure I got it straight. And there we go. Now we are going to add some more of our linen thread, because I just think linen thread works so good for these watery type cards. And I know the scene is going in the middle, so we're going to have our bow at the end over here. And I know I don't need a big bow, but I'm going to have it over here at this edge. And I also like using the linen thread because you often get it inside of your paper pumpkin. So a lot of you have it already. Okay. So that's always nice. Okay. So we just added the thread right down there at the bottom. All right. So now I am thinking I'm going to add this with dimensionals. And they are here. So I am just going to do this. Like that. Let's see. Okay, so we are going to add this right here. Like that. So that's what we have so far. Beautiful. Now we are going to be adding our little sentiment right up here. So I am going to just the glue on the back of here. And I'm going to just add it right at the top of here. Like that. Perfect. Okay, now I could have done other stamping on here, and I mean, all that would be great, and you could, feel free, but I am going to add our chair on here, and it's going to be just ever so slightly tilted, so it isn't completely on the image, okay? And I am going to put glue over here, but I'm going to put some dimensionals over on this side. Okay, so I'm going to put a dimensional here and a dimensional here. Okay, and I think one right here. And then on this side here, we're going to put glue like that. Okay, so like I said, he's just slightly tilted like that. Did I get? I think I got that right. All right. So it gives a little bit of a shadow here, which I love. Now my bow can just kind of hang out on top of here without any problems, just like that. And we're going to add our little book right on here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here for it to attach like that. Oh, I love it. So good. It's so good. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't forget anything. I hope you like it. Oh, yeah. All right. So I think that's everything. Now, we have this adorable coffee cup, which I could add on this side, but we're not going to go overboard. I do have the little bird. I could add the bird, but like I said, we're not going to go overboard. I love this just the way it is. And inside is this way. So those are our 2 cards for this week. And just as a reminder, the next 2 weeks you're going to get recordings. I've already done them. And so you have that forthcoming. And then I will be back in a few weeks with the unboxing for May. Oh, so fun. Yay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day and weekend and whatever you're up to. I hope it's great. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everybody.